What is happening? It is the Nintendo Powercast episode 401. And well, we are back at our own places and not quite as happy as we were when we were all together because it was just so fun. So, Crawler, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. It's not the same without you.
It's not the same without you. Johnny, what's up, baby?
What's going on? I built this room in the Airbnb. I don't know what you guys are doing.
You're still in Denver?
Yeah, I'm still in Denver.
Oh, wow. How is it?
It's fine.
Cheesy, how you doing?
What's going on, cheese curds? Johnny has been in my basement. It's actually been nice having him here because now my basement is finished. So that's pretty cool.
It did it in a week. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Well, before we get started, I want to let you guys all know about my my brand new endeavor called Podcast Prime. I think Podcast Prime now is what you have to look it up for some of the socials or whatever. But I just released an ebook on Master the Art of Podcasting. So if you want to check that out, it is in the link of all the bios, and I will throw it in the description of this show as well. And it's my 14 years of podcasting all put into a book. So whether you need to learn how to get the hosting set up or marketing your show, writing show notes, all the above, it's all covered.
Show notes? What are those?
Hey,
They're all in here. They're all in the brain.
Well played indeed. So Podcast Prime now. It is a podcast, it is a TikTok, it is a YouTube, it is all the things. So you can go check it out. And then I'm launching something else later this week too that I'm really excited about. So I got all the social set up for that, but not OnlyFans, no. Close. Not really close. It's called Josh Schmidt Raw, so I guess it could be close, but it's not that.
Whoa,
Yeah, it's not. it's not that. So but Crawler, where can people connect with you?
Best spots to do that are TikTok and Twitter. Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawler is without the E.
And Johnny, how about you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere besides Twitch. I have been streaming on YouTube, so definitely check out my YouTube channel. I posted a new video today, posting shorts every day. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. I beg you.
Okay, perfect. And Cheesy, where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, CheezyC64, CheezyC64. If you're not following me already, this weekend will be a big reason to follow. I can't say anything more, but you'll be wanting to check out the socials. So
two OnlyFans launched in 1 week. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a big one. But we weren't going to spoil it. So thanks, Johnny.
What in the world could you be talking about? That's crazy. All right. Well,
no idea. It is very super indeed.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. So, of course, we have the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. If you guys want to jump in and get the conversation, become a part of the conversation there, we'd love to have you. NPC has all of its socials. We've got TikTok going. So far, we got 54 subs on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for that. We do appreciate it. And we're gonna keep rocking and rolling on this channel. We are live on the new YouTube channel only. I'm not on my Twitch or anything right now. We are only on the NPC YouTube channel. So if you want to tune in live, Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And I think it's time to jump into, right off the bat, we're going to jump into some Fire Emblem Engage reviews. Sitting at an 82 on Metacritic. Cheesy, you've done a little research on this. I know this was going to be like your first Fire Emblem. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah. It was going to be my first. Now, like with this weekend, I don't know how much time I'll be able to play. So I still want to play it and have it be my first Fire Emblem game. I just don't know how much attention I'll be giving it. But from what I've heard of the reviews, it sounds like kind of mixed, and to be expected, I guess, because there's big fans of Three Houses. And from what I understand, Three Houses is more of like a dating sim more than it is like Fire Emblem.
Tea party sim.
I don't know. Because there's always been relationship building in Fire Emblem. Well, at least since Awakening, I think.
Mhm.
And I heard that, well, reading these reviews and watching them, sounds like Fire Emblem Engage is going to be more like Awakening than Three Houses, which actually makes me more excited because I don't really care too much about, like, Three Houses was fine, but like
There's a
the
lot of downtime in between fights.
yeah, like teaching classes and there's a lot of stuff at the monastery that I'm like, I could do without this. So I'm excited for Engage because of that.
Crawler, any thoughts?
I'm just excited because I got Corn Player 2 going.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
It was available to pick up right after we got Kazuya. Is that right?
No, that was so we went and picked up Kazuya on Friday, and then Sephiroth was ready for
Oh,
pickup.
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I was able to
it's
get
been a lot,
Sephiroth
it's been a lot of
and-
amiibo this week.
Yeah, I was able to get Sephiroth and Kazuya pretty easily. They was just out at GameStop, so
Yeah.
it's not very hard to find them.
And the EU, I saw stuff for like EU release of every possible Fire Emblem amiibo getting reprinted, so that should be coming probably to the States here pretty soon.
There you go. I'm going to take a look at some of the review scores. Dextero gives the game a 100, and I am a firm believer that they do that only so that their name shows up at the top of this list and they can get more clicks to their website. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
No, it's a perfect game.
Apparently. And this is what I love the writing here is great. Fire Emblem Engage feels like a step backwards in ways that this writer appreciates. Like, gone are the lessons in their place is a genuinely affecting story with plenty of whimsy and epic tactical conquests. It is a great way to kick off the year for the Switch, and it also happens to be one of the best looking games on the platform too. Destructoid give it a 90 out of 100. It says, if you were overwhelmed by Three Houses, this is a great follow-up that doesn't follow the same formula and in many ways gets back to the Fire Emblem basics. The Games Machine give it a 90. It says, between various novelties and improvements, the combat system of Fire Emblem Engage is perfectly smooth and exciting. Not all the campaign is full of twists, and the shadow of socialization at all costs could make the most surely digital generals nervous. But overall, Fire Emblem Engage is a recommended chapter. So moving on down on what like Games Radar looks like, they gave it a 50 out of 100 from what I can see. The yellow and the white kind of blend on my monitor. And it says Fire Emblem Engage resurrects the weapon triangle to great effect, making the turn-based combat feel like a game of death and dares, while an unmemorable cast of characters and an unexplored world sadly drag behind it.
That's surprising that they say unmemorable characters.
Because isn't it every single character
It's
pretty
like
much
every
ever?
character. Yeah. I think a lot of the complaints that I've been seeing is it's shorter than Three Houses. Like I think it's only one campaign as opposed to the 3 different campaigns in Three Houses. But
Wasn't there a 4th secret one?
yeah, there was a 4th one in DLC. I'm sure we'll get more story content in the DLC for Engage. I don't know. I think I heard it's like a 60-hour game, which like that's still a pretty beefy game.
Mm-hmm.
Comicbook.com gives it a 70. Says, as a fan of the Fire Emblem series, I enjoyed the new game for what it is. The story isn't exactly original. The gameplay isn't exactly innovative. And there's perhaps a bit too much emphasis on nostalgia that English language fans can't even truly appreciate, given how many Fire Emblem games didn't get released outside of Japan. However, the game is a treat to view, and the combat is just challenging enough to keep you on the edge of your seat, even if the same handful of tactics seem to work on every map. Fire Emblem Engage neither stands above the other Fire Emblem games, nor does it fall below them. It firmly sits in the middle of the pack, which should be good enough for most fans of the franchise. but might not appeal to those who haven't really experienced the franchise before.
Oh no.
See, this is one of the reasons. Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to play it, is because even though it's supposed to be a celebration, I guess, of past Fire Emblem games, could a non-Fire Emblem fan enjoy this game just by itself? And I think that's probably what they're going to have a lot of issues with, is they got a lot of people with Three Houses. I mean, that was like the first Fire Emblem game. It was the first Fire Emblem game for the Switch, and it got a whole new audience. But now that it's not exactly like Three Houses, I wonder if they're going to run into that problem, or there will be new Fire Emblem fans and they'll enjoy a different type of game that they didn't play before.
So, Cheesy, after the reviews came out, would you consider getting Three Houses before Engage?
No, I think it's there's no hype around it right now. And like, as a non-Fire Emblem fan, I have no reason to go back to Three Houses and try it out. Like, if I was really curious, maybe, but like, I wanted to give Engage a chance to see if that's my kind of series or not. Like, maybe this is something that's really going to surprise me, but I'm also not really hyped for it, but I am not like opposed to it, so like I want to give it a chance.
Well, and I think they learned how to onboard people into the franchise with Three Houses, so hopefully they find a good way to give you an introduction and get you onboarded and not have it feel tedious or monotonous, and also not be a nuisance to people that kind of already know what's going, like the ins and outs of it. But it is a rock paper scissors type game where one thing beats the other and also has a weakness to something else. And once you pick up on that, it becomes a strategy game, and there's extra stuff on top of it. So hopefully it stays true to what it is at the core, and it can just expand. And I'm excited for it, just to try it out.
Yeah. So some of the reviews make it sound like if you haven't played a Fire Emblem game before, you're not going to enjoy it. But I don't think that should deter people from playing. Fire Emblem is a fantastic series, and I think if you want to try a Fire Emblem game, I think you should try it. You liked Live Alive.
Just played Sparks of Hope. I mean, I know that's like completely different, but just kind of, tipping my toes into the like
strategy genre.
Yeah. I think that's I'm trying, and that's part of my 2023 is just trying new genres, and maybe there are games that I never would pick up, but because I've never given them a chance, I don't know what that experience is like. And
there's 14 of them on the eShop, apparently.
Oh, great. I will start with the first
14?
one.
No way.
No, 14 new games he hasn't tried in a whole new genre. We talked about it last week.
Oh, God.
Different game, Josh.
No, I'm really looking forward to this one, honestly. Like, it's I've imagined a pretty full weekend, but I am hoping to get some time with this. GameStop called me today and they're like, "Hey, we have your special edition," and they were like, "And you need to pick it up between this time and this time." And I'm like, "Or else what? Like, you're gonna get rid of my
They're gonna open it and sell it as used."
Yeah, I guess so. Like, wow.
Now that you mention that, I think I pre-ordered the special edition for this.
I got a shipping notification today. It said it was. I got the notification today. It also says it's going to be here tomorrow. I don't know how well the system works for them to launch it like that, but we'll see.
I pre-ordered some special edition
because it was GameStop exclusive for the special edition.
And I don't buy physical. Like, I already own it digitally. Like, I don't buy physical games normally.
Right. Well, best of luck to you. Are you?
Maybe I don't know. But now, like, do I buy it? Like, if I get because I don't think I paid it off. I think I put the $5 down. Like, do I spend the $95.
What's
I
the
don't even know
special
what you get with
edition?
it.
What's
Yeah, I
in
don't even
it?
know what you get with it. It's probably
Oh.
a steel book, maybe like
Eh.
some stickers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe does it come with the expansion pass? Maybe if it comes with the expansion pass, I'll pick it
I'm
up.
looking. Hold on, because it was a while ago that I ordered it as well.
While Crawler is looking that up, I do want to go in with an open mind with Fire Emblem, but I do kind of feel like that comic book review is probably how I'll go into it. I think it will be fun, but I probably will have no idea what's going on.
Hey, here's the good thing. I don't read in these games, so I won't know what's going on either. Like that guy's from Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Where's Lucario?
Yeah. No, I mean, I still remember playing Melee for the first time, and I was like, "Who is Marth and Roy?" Like,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we had a Fire Emblem game at that point. I don't think there was anything localized. Maybe on
first
the
one-
GBA.
Yeah, I was
maybe
gonna
on the-
say I think the first one was GBA.
But that was
So-
Ike and Lynn. Like that wasn't even Marth and Roy.
Game Steelbook, tarot card, whatever. Art. They're just art cards, but and then a art book and then a poster. So no DLC included.
Also,
is that worth it,
Crawler
Johnny?
bought 2 Player 2 Corins. If you can't see that right now, he has a boxed one, and he also has an open one.
He does. You're right.
Keeping the amiibo industry alive.
We're the problem.
I picked up the two yesterday, and I was like, I told the guy behind the counter, I'm like, I really wish they'd stop selling these.
Johnny asked Josh when we picked up my Kazuya on Friday last week. He's like, I'm sad. There's only 2 more. There's the double pack of Mithra Pyra and then Sora. He's like, I'm kind of sad these are coming to an end. Josh is like, nope, end them. I'm done. I'm
Well,
so
like
done
it
with
was more like the finality of the thing. Like it was a little upsetting when the Smash 4 like line was done because we didn't know anything about Smash Ultimate. We thought Smash the amiibo were done, and it's like it was kind of cool to have all of them, but then like the finality of something coming to an end that I put a lot of time and money and effort into. It's just I don't know. It's a little emotional at times.
It's your brand is tied to it, so you're entitled to be a little more emotional. Josh,
Yeah,
has got them all
Amiibo can't
boxed up in
die, Josh. Please don't kill Amiibo.
Josh has got them all
die.
boxed up in his office closet there.
I'm gonna have to explain
Some
to
are in my
people
garage. Some are in my
name
garage now.
means.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's gonna forget Amiibo very soon. Very soon.
I think the next bit of Amiibo news that we hear will be for Splatoon. I think in the direct that will happen in February, allegedly.
I think Tears of the
No, and
Kingdom.
next Amiibo news is all the reprint of all the Zelda ones.
Yeah, and I think we get Tears of the Kingdom info
in the direct or what?
in the direct. We're only 3 months out. Like,
yeah,
they have to start. There was that tweet going around today, how like Nintendo's not marketing Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. They don't. What do
they
they
don't
need
really
to
have
market?
to.
No, like
if they
don't
tweet
even
one
need...
thing.
Well, and how much of the game do you want to see?
Exactly. I mean, like
a trailer would be cool.
It's either that we've already experienced what we did in Breath of the Wild, but you know that they're going to add more to it. So, like, do you want to see what we don't know? Like, that was part of the fun of Breath of the Wild, was just exploring and discovering. I don't think that they need a direct. They probably will do a direct, and we'll have to watch it because we'll talk about it. But, like, I don't think they need to do anything to sell this game.
I think they'll have a trailer and it'll be like 5 seconds long. It'll just say weapon durability is gone.
I really hope so. I really, really don't want to deal with that again. That deters me from wanting to go back and play Breath of the Wild again. Is the
I was more annoyed
breaking.
with the rain. The rain sucked.
Oh,
like
sliding down,
every time,
sliding down the mountain.
It's also a hard game to go back to. Isn't jump X?
Yeah, jump is like X, right? Or B.
Yes,
It's the
because-
opposite of Splatoon.
Yeah, and that was very hard to get used to because X was jump on the Wii U. So then when we got a new Splatoon game, it was B. But then if you go back and try to jump in Breath of the Wild, it's X. And like, just get your buttons right. Very triggering.
All right. Well, Cheesy, you got a topic that we were gonna maybe jump into as far as like movie adaptions and of games and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Before we do this, let's address Mark's comment here. Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made, even
You
with
gotta-
the weapon durability and the rain.
Johnny, you got to read the comment. This is a podcast.
Oh, it says, sounds like you guys don't like Breath of the Wild.
Thank you.
But Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made. Ever.
Do you hold by that? That's like it's your favorite game
It is.
ever?
I
Yep.
will stand by
It's the best game ever made.
It's a wonderful game. I think discoverability, everything, all that is great. It's not the best Zelda game though.
It's not
Which
a
is-
Zelda game.
It-
hold.
which is a weird thing to say. Like it's not a Zelda game.
It has
'cause
it's an open world game with Zelda characters. That's
Yep.
Mark, no need to apologize. It's all good. We like to address comments.
I assumed you were joking, but I needed to put my stance out there.
I heard the
so everybody
sarcasm in the
knows.
keyboard.
Yeah. I don't know. For someone that like wasn't a big Zelda fan, like I had played the original Zelda, and that just was, you out of frustration are just trying new things to figure out what it is that you have to do, and then you're like throwing bombs all over the place, and then something opens up, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, like I think I'm getting somewhere. And then I played Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. I've played Twilight Princess, but haven't finished it. So like jumping into Breath of the Wild, a game that I probably wasn't going to pick up, but I did because it was the only Switch game available at the time. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like I have a deeper connection for the Zelda series and want to see where it goes. And there's already, theories of what Tears of the Kingdom means, and like I don't want to spoil anything, but I saw one that I think nailed it, and it might actually kind of flip the series on its head a little bit.
Cheesy, have you played Link to the Past?
I've not played Link to the Past, no.
Ooh, it's available to you on Nintendo Switch Online. You should.
Okay.
Have you played Link Between Worlds?
No, but I want to. That was 3DS, right?
Do you have it on your 3DS?
I don't, and I'm sure it's expensive if I go online and try to
I'm
hunt it
sure
down.
that one has actually been probably overproduced.
Because that one is actually a game I've been wanting to play. I just played Wind Waker for the first time last year and really enjoyed it. Like I understand why people love it.
$32.51 on Amazon new.
Oh,
You can-
okay. Yeah, it's not bad.
It's you can get it.
Link's Awakening remake, Servant says, is a must play. I did play that, and that again I think was because of Breath of the Wild. Like it was scratching that itch of a new Zelda game that we haven't had before. And like I know Link's Awakening is a remake, but for me, I hadn't played the original, so like I really enjoyed it. I love the art style of it, and actually is a great segue into what we were going to talk about, because there is a rumor that Illumination Studios is making a Zelda movie, and I kind of wanted to talk about movie or video game adaptions, because as we were all together this weekend, we went home Sunday night and were treated to The Last of Us on HBO, and wow, like that was so good. It was really good. And
you never played Last of Us?
I've never played Last of Us, but the thing is the truck scene when they're like driving through Boston, like you could just see that was part of a video game. And I know that I've seen the videos now after the episode came out, but like while I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I'm playing the game right now. And it's incredible. I don't think that we've ever really had a scene like that where, a game that you experienced, you are seeing on screen, and maybe you still have feelings from
Hey
when you.
now, Doom tried to do that back.
So you know what's interesting about, like, I played Last of Us, and I recently played through like half of it again, and my girlfriend knows nothing about Last of Us, and I finally get to be the one that knows what happens because she reads books all the time. So when we watch a movie based off a book, she knows what happens and I don't. But now I get to be the one to hold it over on her.
That's fun.
She's like, does this happen? I'm like, I don't know. You got to watch it.
So I mean, watching Last of Us, I spent a decent amount this week trying to beat God of War just so I can kind of close that chapter, and because I'm at the very end, but I don't have the newest shiniest version or whatever with the carpet wrinkles and all that kind of stuff in the PS5 remake of the remake of Last of Us. But I do have whatever one is just I have it digitally and I have it physically. I think
the PS4 version, right?
Yeah.
The remaster.
But
remastered.
It has me wanting to finish God of War so I have a fairly new playthrough on my PS5. I think of the PS5 version of the PS4 remake, whatever. They've released it now three times or four times, however many times they've released that game on a 12-year-old game. But
and now they're like wanting to do a whole new like remake of it, right?
They did a remake.
But I think there were rumors that they were wanting to start over and just make a new Last of Us.
Oh, well, so I think we could. We've talked about maybe having a Mario game come out for the Mario movie. So PlayStation released Last of Us Part 1 on the PlayStation 5, the remake, last September, guaranteed in preparation for this show, because I think I saw it was the second largest HBO premiere in the past 10 years, second only to Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So like so many new people are going to be experiencing this property through the show, and it's getting highly rated across the board. New people are going to continuously check it out, and it's just going to blow that brand up. Like Last of Us is going to be, I can't wait to see what the sales are for The Last of Us Part 1 after the show, the first season of the show is over.
Ask 343 how the sales of Halo went.
Well, that
was a weird adaptation. That was a weird adaptation.
All Last of Us did was take the opening couple chapters,
source material,
and
which is mostly cutscene.
Live action.
There's a decent amount of cutscene there, and they were able to translate it shot for shot in some points.
And they gave us more exposition too, like the opening scene. We didn't see that in the game, and then there's
with the Adlers and stuff. No.
Yeah. Well, that part, but I meant like with the scientist, and then
that was a cool cold open. I really
it's also like
enjoyed that.
Hit too close to home.
Yeah.
So,
you're all screwed if this happens.
Yeah. If the climate were to increase, but I mean, everything was pretty much shot for shot. They didn't really change anything from the game, and they added things that added to the world, which was really good. That scene, which I won't spoil it, but that scene is as emotional as it is in the game.
Oh yeah.
Have they said how far they're going to make it in the game in this first season?
I would assume it's the first game.
I don't know. I feel like they could have like a cut of it after winter and do the back half into season 2. But I don't know.
I think you can argue that with the Mario movie, we're already seeing scenes that, would be pulled straight from the game. Like, yes, it's a little different than a live action version of like Last of Us, it's pretty easy to recreate what you have already played or seen. But from what we have seen of the Mario trailer, you see Mario learning how to jump from platform to platform, which is something that we had to do. And I think that's really cool that, we, in a way, are going to feel like Mario.
Well, and
while
even
watching while watching the movie.
Even that DK arena felt like a Smash arena, and B a more involved recreation of level 1-1 in Donkey Kong, like the first level in Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
They better give us a shot for shot of Super Mario Brothers 1-1 in that movie
Somewhere.
after the
That would
Last
be
of
awesome.
Us did this, because if it doesn't,
with how well that was received in Odyssey, being that little Easter egg in the movie theater, I hope they do that. But like Brian is saying, I want to see Mario movie, the game, the movie. the movie, the game.
It's a little
Street
harder
Fighter
to
that
do.
did that? Didn't Street Fighter do Street Fighter, the movie, the game?
I think so.
It's a little harder for Mario to do what Last of Us did, because Last of Us is a narrative-driven game
with cutscenes.
Mario is not.
Yeah, it's just a movie you play already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or press buttons. I don't know if you play it, but
well, they had to cut some things because I don't think people would like Joel too much if they saw what he did in the game.
Ooh, I got to play this game one day. I need to play it.
It's a fantastic game. No, just like even like Uncharted. Say they do an Uncharted show. They can't.
They did a movie, and they did a shot for shot with the plane.
Yeah, that's true. But they didn't have, and that was not a good adaptation, I don't think. Mm-hmm. They could not have Nathan Drake just murder hundreds of people, Like, that's a video game thing. In real life, or like a video in an adaptation, he would look like a serial killer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about Mortal Kombat?
Where's Warner Brothers standing with that right now? They kind of... That came out how long ago now? A year and a half ago?
2 years. Because we were in the pandemic.
Yeah. I don't like that they just added a new character in as the main character, but...
I actually kind of like that movie. But yeah, adding the random guy. I actually like the originals back in the 90s. They're just so cheesy, but they're...
Hey, man. That's a good thing.
Your soul is mine.
I mean, there's so much playing Mortal Kombat 11. Like, there's so much cutscene and story that they put into the game. Like, they don't have to try to ground it in some Earth that we're aware of. Like, just let it play out with the dimensions and stuff, the portals and all that kind of craziness that they have already built into the game, and let it run wild. I think that could do well if they just let it breathe with the source material that they have.
I wonder if, with Last of Us doing so well so far, if more things that are going to get adapted are going to hold closer to the source material than historically we've seen.
I mean, I think that, you could say that Detective Pikachu did a great job of that. Like, Detective Pikachu was a game that we had never played. It wasn't like, Pokemon Red and Blue, but you were at least familiar with the Pokemon and the way that they interacted in the world, the way that they looked. I mean, that was like every kid's dream, was to see like a real life version of Pokemon. And I think they nailed that, especially after, we were shown the first trailer of Sonic. That was a completely different tone from seeing the Sonic trailer. And then we were like, oh no, Ryan Reynolds is going to voice Detective Pikachu. This doesn't make any sense. Why? And then you saw the trailer and you're like, actually, this could work. Like, I'm believing it every step of the way. And like, was it a perfect movie? No, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. And I feel like Sonic actually did the same thing too. Like, there's still like hints and jokes and I guess little references that you would understand if you have played the game, but for it to be like a shot for shot scene like what we're seeing in Last of Us, you know, maybe they're going to do more of that. But as far as like, you know, Mario and this rumored Zelda movie, I do have confidence in it. Like, I don't think it, as long as you are able to relate to some of the jokes and some of the little Easter eggs, like it will be a good time. And the Mario movie looks like it's exceeding our expectations already, that with Illumination working on a Zelda game or a movie, I could see it working.
Chris Pratt's gonna voice Link.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, princess.
I want to see a whole Nintendo Cinematic Universe, the NCU.
I mean, they have Nintendo Pictures, right? So like they could be headed in that direction.
Donkey Kong movie, Mario Kart movie,
Kong.
Smash.
If they don't do a
Mansion
Donkey Kong
movie.
movie, I'll be shocked.
I mean, it's already, that was rumored a long time ago. And that was rumored before we even saw a trailer for Mario. They were like, yeah, this is a Donkey Kong movie that we're working on with Seth Rogen. And you're like, oh, wait, Seth Rogen? They must really be enjoying his work if they're already like trying to greenlight this Donkey Kong movie.
And he's a producer and a writer too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so you know, me and Diddy were playing with bananas. Not that kind of banana, but you know,
wow.
you know, get
Is
that
James
joke?
Franco gonna be Diddy Kong?
God.
No, it's got to be Pete Davidson.
One of them could be Funky Kong.
Because
Who's gonna be
Fred
Funky Kong?
Armstead is Cranky Kong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's so much they can do. Like, it's kind of exciting thinking about, like, especially going the route of Illuminate. Like, after seeing the Mario trailer and everything,
Yeah.
like,
There's
I'm
so
here
many
for it.
galaxies out there.
Mhm.
Absolutely
And
give
worlds to
Grant
explore.
Kirkhope a chance at scoring the Donkey Kong movie. Like, I don't know how you could pass that up. That would be amazing. Grant Kirkhope and David Wise, and just have it be that love letter to Donkey Kong. Man, now I just want that.
Well, I did get a different finally a different Happy Meal toy in this week instead of Princess Peach, which I had gotten like 1,000 of.
What is
there
that
are-
one? What does it do?
I got a one with a Luma,
That
so
looks
it makes me
pretty
feel
good,
like
actually a pretty high quality Donkey Kong there.
it makes me feel like they are going to have Lumas and Rosalina in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what'd you get?
A Luma.
Luma.
You got a Luma. That's a spoiler.
That's exactly
They
what I
haven't
said as
shown
my kids
Lumas.
took it out of the Happy Meal box. I'm like, that's kind of a spoiler. This is movie based
So
stuff.
did you see? There was a Bowser figure that was going around online for the movie, and it
Mhm.
like breathes smoke.
Oh wow.
It's just like an action figure.
Yeah, I think it's Jax is the company that made it, but I didn't see what it looked like.
It just looked like the Bowser from the movie with smoke coming out of the mouth, with a light up mouth.
Yeah. Well, if they did a Zelda movie, do you think that it would be like Link's Awakening, the remake, because it's got that plasticky illumination feel, or do you think they would go in a completely different direction? Because I feel like, you know, it's a huge success that Illumination Studios is having right now, especially after how the first trailer for Mario was perceived and or received, and even after the movie comes out, like that's gonna be huge for them. They could really, you know, try to go in different directions with their art style.
Mid-Pie Senpai said, my kids took it out of the Happy Meal. LOL. liar. It was you, Crawler. It was you.
I bought a few on lunch break, but that one that I got the Luma, it was them.
So are the Mario toys still in stock?
Yeah.
I think so.
Still
Yeah.
in the
I have an
Might have
extra
to
Mario in the pipe,
DoorDash them.
and I have a Peach, or an extra. I don't know. I have an extra Luma, an extra Bowser, an extra Mario in the pipe right now. So
I have
remember
Mario
when,
and his Mario Kart.
I'm just missing Toad. Is all.
I remember when Pokemon cards were in the Happy Meals and people would just buy
Adults
like
would just go buy
30
the
Happy
ton,
Meals.
Yeah.
Not
Marketing,
me. I
man.
only bought like 5 at a time. So
The things we do for cardboard. The things we do. No, but Cheesy, getting back to your question as far as like the way that Zelda game or the Zelda movie could look, like I would. There's a thumbnail when I just did a quick like search for the Zelda movie, and Zelda kind of resembles Peach, and in the Super Mario Brothers movie, the way they kind of almost like a Tangled kind of art style,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so I think that I think that would be great.
I would
I would
almost
love
wanna
to see
see,
something a
like-
little grittier though. If I'm gonna be like, I would like to see it a little grittier, like not as happy and bubbly as Mario, but like a little more like I don't know what would be like
What about
I
the
think
Puss in
Ocarina. I
Boots
think
style?
Ocarina of Time would be a good movie to like a good story to adapt to a movie.
it just give kids nightmares right in the theater as those zombies come out of the,
But like
Spiders
Something enough-
coming down from the ceiling.
I'm thinking of like the Puss in Boots and even the
Mhm.
Amazing or the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
that type of animation style where it's a little bit more mature animation, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even gritty for the Mario movie, we're seeing that with how Bowser just demolishes the Snow Kingdom or burns this Snow Kingdom, melts. That's the right verb. And I think that Luigi's Mansion scene with the dry bones, like, you know, it's going to be kid friendly, but that could be kind of creepy to some kids. Like, I don't know. I think that Illumination really can do what they want, and you know Nintendo will be on top of it too. So like, it might be pretty good. Does the Link talk?
I mean,
If they're making Mario talk, I think
yeah.
they would. He
Well,
did in the cartoon back in the 80s. I mean,
Yeah. But from the game, we probably have heard Mario talk more than Link.
But can you imagine a hour and a half movie where
grunting?
the main character doesn't
Cut!
talk?
Hot!
Wally.
I guess the minions don't technically talk.
No, I wouldn't
Speak
say like their
gibberish.
They
main
say butt.
characters.
Bob.
No, they're
Well,
just
the
comic
Minions
relief.
movie, like there's a Minions movie.
Oh, true. Yeah,
No-
I don't
no-
know.
Now I want a Goombas movie.
Well, I guess it would be the Toads. Are the Toads the?
Oh
The
god, could you
Minions?
imagine their annoying
No,
voices for
the
an
Goombas
hour?
would be a good equivalent, or
So,
Koopas.
Yeah, I can't imagine a whole movie where the protagonist doesn't talk.
I'm just saying, like I think Wally is a good movie, and Wally doesn't really talk that much. You have other characters that are doing it for him.
Well, they need to sell this movie, so they got to get like
Tom
I don't
Holland
know. Tom Holland.
to play Tom Holland. Zach
Robert
Efron
Downey Jr.
as Link.
I
Robert
thought you
Downey
said
Jr.
Zach
as-
Galifianakis, and I was like, yes.
No, he's the Gorgon. Yeah, let's cast the Zelda movie real quick.
Who's Ganondorf?
Yeah, who's Ganondorf?
The first one, I don't agree with it, but the first thing that came to mind was Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
No, it's
I guess-
too animated. Who's the guy that played Thanos?
Josh
Josh
Brolin?
Brolin.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
I
wonder
can't
if-
think of anything right now, but I mean,
Maybe-
I mean,
Oh, Mark Strong isn't a bad
What's
in the
Mark Strong
bad,
been in?
He was this doesn't help, but he was in Green Lantern. He was the villain in Green Lantern. He's also the villain in
Wait.
Sherlock Holmes.
Is he in the
He's
is he in the
the,
Kingsman guy? Is he
yeah,
in
he's the
Kingsman?
Kingsman guy.
He's
Okay.
Kingsman. That's a good example.
Okay.
David Harbour, would he be a
Wait,
good?
What about
Ganondorf?
the young guy in Kingsman as Link?
Eggsy.
The guy that
Yeah,
played
He has a very
Elton
thick
John.
British accent.
He can do American accent though. He played Elton
Taron-
John.
What's it? Yeah, and that's a good movie. What's his name? Taron Egerton? Is that his name?
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a Nintendo show, not a movie pop culture show. I have no idea. So who's playing Zelda? I have a pick.
Anna Taylor-Joy. They just crossed it over.
Who's your pick?
Jenna Ortega.
From
Go sell it.
she was from Hobbs and Shaw. You guys know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'll look her up real quick.
Vanessa Kirby.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
No, they don't have to be blonde because the character's blonde.
No, yeah, true.
no, she's just kind of a badass. Like that's why I would want to see like yeah, she's pretty bad to the bone. So that's why she's my pick. Because hair can change color for sure, but
So we're saying this it's gonna be live action, not Illumination?
No, it's Illumination.
Oh, so wait, we need voice actors.
Yeah, that's what
Well-
we were doing. Voice actors.
Okay.
well maybe it's like mocap, like a little mocap action or something.
I need Benjamin Schwartz, who played Sonic, to be Link. Just
No.
flip the script.
No,
Just really
that would be
make
awful.
everything so happy and like, oh, a sword. Well, what happens if oh, it's pointy.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Yeah,
you can do
yeah,
that
there
line.
you go.
Oh my god.
Hot!
Well, I'm looking at the cast of Hobbs and Shaw right now, and I wonder if Idris Elba would be a good choice for
That'd be
Ganon.
good, Ganon. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
his voice, I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean Jonathan Majors, he's playing King right now, but that dude scares me. Like he's going to be such a good King. And this is a movie podcast now. Sorry, I get kind of hyped up on movies, but like if you haven't seen The Harder They Fall, that is a good Jonathan Majors film. It's like a Western cowboy movie on Netflix.
Very cool.
Anyway, who's playing Navi?
Hey, listen.
Who's
Listen.
playing Tingle?
Or Fee or Fi.
Who's playing Tingle?
Danny DeVito as
Oh,
Danny
yeah. There it
or
is.
Gilbert Godfrey.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh, is he dead? Oh, he
died.
did die.
Yeah.
Maybe he recorded it before he died.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, he did die last year.
Yeah. But
Maybe
Danny
Ri-
DeVito.
Ryan
That's a good
Reynolds
one.
is Link.
Right?
Just
As
Deadpool.
Deadpool
Link.
as Link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
I've
Henry
been,
Cavill as
sleeping. Yeah.
Anyone.
Henry Cavill is something.
As a
Why?
Epona?
Because he's a nerd.
No. Just
Oh.
because I feel like he's getting screwed over a little bit.
He's doing Warhammer, his dream.
And he gets to produce it too.
Yeah.
That's 2 checks.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
I assume. I assume.
Well, we got a few minutes left. I want to talk about just
the games we played.
yeah, the sheer laughter and fun that we had
Oh,
last
yeah,
weekend. After the meetup on Saturday, was that Saturday night? Friday night?
Yeah.
We came back. Kyle came back to the house that we were staying at, and we played some Towerfall local because that's the only way you can play that game. And
We
truly
played Nintendo Land first.
We did play
Yeah.
Nintendo Land. That was yeah,
And that was Crawler's first time playing Nintendo Land.
and the facial expression memes that came out of that were pretty good. So go to Twitter for that.
That's a fun game. I wish Nintendo would bring that back.
Yep. Some online play for sure.
Yeah. Because I don't have friends in real life. Like that was the first time I ever played like with people, I think. So I've only played like the balloon fight and the Donkey Kong one.
So you've only played with your imaginary friends?
Pretty much, yeah.
And you still lost.
So here's how the night went. We played Nintendo Land. It was fun. It was a great time. You know, Nintendo Land is great. We did all the different.
I'm pretty good at the Plinko
like
game. To
yeah, right. We
unlock
just
more
watched
stuff.
Crawler
watching them play
Plinko.
Plinko for an hour.
Bro,
It
we're
was
all
impressive.
playing here. Like, come on.
Impressive.
And then we did Towerfall, which was great. It was super fun. And I know Cheesy was like, "Hey, yo, we could. You got any more of that Towerfall?" He was looking a little like the Chappelle meme, like, "You got any more of that Towerfall?" And I was like, "Hey, I have this game." Kyle took off, and I was like, "I have this 4-player game called Heave Ho." And if you've ever seen the way like Brett gets Tom Segura laughing on some of his TikToks, that is how Johnny and Cheese. I couldn't even turn around and look at these two with like they were laughing so hard.
I
There
could
were
not
tears.
see.
So much swearing, so much yelling. I'm glad we had a house and we weren't in like an apartment or a hotel room because we were so loud at 1 o'clock in the morning.
You really got so. If you don't know what Heave Ho is, you're like this little character with wavy arms, and you're trying to get to a goal. And we tried co-op, and that was just the first night was awful. It was just we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it, and
when Johnny says that he couldn't see, he's not lying. Like he had tears
like
in his eyes. At one point, he had to walk away to like give himself
because
a
I didn't
breather.
like. I had like
wipe his
grease
eyes.
in my eyes. It was burnt. My eyes were burning. Like I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop laughing, and I
Yeah.
couldn't see. And these guys, like, they left me behind most of the time because they didn't want to deal with my nonsense. But you really got to get into character when you're playing this game. You got to be, every time you make a move, you got to make a grunt. You go,
Because the point of the game is like you're this. It sounds weird. Yeah, we're showing
Oh, yeah,
some
here you go.
B-roll of it, but you're like a face, and then you have 2 arms. So you have your right hand, that's the right trigger, and then your left hand, that's the left trigger. And there's like this obstacle course that you have to get through and get to the end goal while you're working together. So like you got to latch on to the other player, but then you might have to swing. And so like, you're trying to figure out, okay, if I let go of this person, is that going to mess us up? Or can I grab onto this person to like make a chain? And it is so funny that this weekend I am introducing it to my friends because I can't imagine like a better time. And like, if it's your first time playing it, it's ridiculous. And if you're looking for a good like couch co-op game, this is it.
And we didn't even have like adult beverages or anything. Like it was just
No.
pure fun.
Yeah.
For adult men, just hysterically laughing for
trying to figure
over
out
an hour.
what we're doing and if we're still going to be friends by the end of this.
The funniest part, I think the funniest part of the whole time, it was so stupid, but I was like in the middle of the chain and I had a little hand, one of my hands was sticking out. And I don't know why it was so funny to me.
Because Johnny has this
I got
open hand.
I got a free hand.
We're like in this mess of like, we're in a ball that is just a mess. And Johnny has this free hand that you can barely see, but he's like using the trigger to like flap it to say, hey, I've got a free hand. But like, he's not going to do anything with that hand. And it's, I don't know. If you're looking for a game that's just kind of ridiculous and you just need a good laugh, this is it.
Yeah, I've bought this game at least 3 times. Like the first time I introduced it, both my daughters were like, "You need to put this on our Switches," and so and there may be more. It was a major hit. After the first time I played it, there was just you can't help but just love it, especially with a group of people. It's such a shame that this isn't an online game, because it probably would have been massive, right? It probably like
Yeah, this is a Devolver Digital. They find good games to promote.
Mhm. It's funny,
And
even
There
just
is a
watching
single player
this.
aspect to it,
Yeah,
but it's
there
probably
is.
not as fun.
Just watching the B-roll of this, like you're trying to latch on to somebody or a rope, or like you're swinging, and I feel for these characters where it's like, let me, I can get it. Like, let me, maybe if I make a sound effect, I'll reach it. It's great.
You gotta get it. You gotta get into it. Like you can't
Yeah.
just not make noise when you go.
Well, do you guys remember how long we were on this particular level? I know if you guys are only listening, you can't see it, but there's spikes and ropes and birds, and the birds will randomly.
We got every coin that we were doing as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there you go. He just threw his partner just into oblivion, you know? And what's crazy with this game too, like we ended up figuring out that you could take the rope just all the way up and around and get in. But like initially I was taking the rope on the other side there, and I launched myself up and around the spike that way. But then, you know, Cheesy's coming in through the first rope. It's just so interesting the way you can figure out these puzzles.
And what makes it funny? Oh, sorry, Josh, go ahead.
No, I mean the other thing is just the way, like, there were times that, like, you know, Johnny's jumping towards the finish line and then misses, but somebody catches him right as he's you know, right as he's about to have to start back over again. And it's just it's a really, really incredible game. And it was on sale for like $5. I don't know if it still is now, but I'm assuming that sale probably ended. But it's definitely one to pick up, especially if you have some people to play it with. You were gonna say, Cheesy?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, one of the things that I had trouble with that still made it fun was, if you're tangled up, you really have to think about, okay, wait, which hand is grabbing onto somebody else, and like, can I let go of this trigger? Because if you're holding onto someone, you are pressing down on that trigger button. But if you release, that could be everything. That could be the right decision, or it could be the worst decision, and you may have to start all over with your group. And like, you know, then your friends kind of bag on you a little bit, but you're still working through it. And yeah, just a really good time. But I do think, even with 3 minutes, we should talk about strikers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the conclusion is,
okay. Well, I guess that's the end of the show.
conclusion is it's not even that fun locally. Like it's fun. We had fun playing it.
We had fun.
Yeah.
But
It's still confusing.
been so much more.
It's still not designed great.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
most of
what?
the
You know what
time-
was fun for me though? I was 4-1.
Okay.
I had the best record out of everybody. So that was fun.
But besides that,
you're super good at getting carried.
So I think the modes that we played, I think we determined we can play those together online if we want to.
The modes we play, it's almost as if there's more than one mode.
The way we played, I guess, local.
Yeah, but it is so confusing when
Yeah.
you're trying to change characters. I didn't change. I was trying not to change characters because I was going to end up in a wall or something.
Well, that's why he didn't contribute. He was always just like, hey, I will just pretend that I'm playing, but you do all the work. I know the type of kid that you were in school.
Also, the hyper strike blocking makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. I think it's also the you know, somebody could be player 4, then now all of a sudden there's like player 6 on the screen, and you're like, wait, who is that? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't correlate your controller number to what you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Strikers is worth it, even locally.
Yeah. We did have fun. Like, it wasn't that we didn't have any fun, but it wasn't as fun as, like, say, Nintendo Land. Like, I think we had more fun with Nintendo Land. And even though that's a different variety of games, I think you could play Mario Chase or Luigi's Ghost Mansion. Is that the title of that mode. And if you had to just choose one of those games, it's probably more fun than just playing Strikers.
And we
Even
didn't even
Towerfall or Heave Ho, like those
Yeah.
are cheap games. Those
Yeah.
are much cheaper than $60 that you can enjoy playing locally.
Mm-hmm.
but it just highlights how great local multiplayer is, and I wish it could be replicated cleanly online, and
Mhm.
or I mean, when you search for Towerfall online, I like one of the first things that comes up is a article about lag and how if you shot an arrow, it wouldn't be the same for everybody on the screen, and it would kind of ruin the experience. But I mean, it's such a great game to play. Like you just wish that everyone could have a better way to experience it and not have to rely on having 4 to 6 friends around to be able to play that.
Yep.
We did it. 1 hour, 1 minute. Thank you guys so much for listening to episode 401 of the Nintendo Powercast.
If you enjoyed yourself, please.
Wait, I have the power to let you do this again. Go ahead.
I was like, I don't know what just happened. 'cause-
There's a slight delay when Josh hits the buttons.
I was like, oh, he's gonna keep talking. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We're going back to Colorado for episode 420.
I was going to say, if you enjoyed the podcast or you have comments about, what you want to see on the show, leave us a review. Give us a 5-star review. It helps us a lot. And, you can interact with us on all of our socials. We like hanging out with you guys. And if there's community games you want to play, let us know.
More importantly, write us a funny review.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we
how
enjoy
Josh just cut me off. And
Or how Crawler's a dork for not liking what
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Fall
Fall
Guys.
Guys is great, you dork.
That's the best.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.